if there's a question asked, like, okay, never mind. Go on.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Lackin Podcast, your girl's favorite podcast in the world. Yes. I'm once again your host, Warrick, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Alex, Josh, Neo, Dylan, Luke, and Kundi, and Sahyen. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Katherine. Say hello, Katherine.
Hi. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Amazing. Once again, all of our socials are in the description down below, so make sure you check us all out. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like, do all of that stuff. Okay, now before we begin, we would like to say thank you for all of the support on the first podcast. It was insane. We didn't expect it at all, and if you keep it up, we'll be here for a very long time. You know.
And as Warren said, if your girl's looking at her phone and she's laughing, it's because she's watching the first podcast. I don't know.
I'm
She's
a
watching
female
us.
and I can reprimand this. Is that the right word?
Reprimand?
No, I don't think so.
Guarantee it.
You can confirm this?
Confirm.
Okay.
Reprimand, that's a whole different ball game.
Yo.
Okay, say that again, Catherine. Let's try that
Okay.
again. We'll take a
I'm
breather.
a female. I
Restart.
can 100% guarantee this.
Okay,
Confirm
perfect.
this.
Okay,
Third time's the charm.
Lovely.
third time's the charm. Third time's the charm.
This is great. This has turned out awesome.
Yes, okay. No.
We restarted.
Are we restart? What do you
No.
mean? This is
Okay,
live.
Catherine, just say what you were gonna say.
No, it's okay. I've embarrassed myself enough.
No, you're fine. You're
He
fine.
can edit
This
it.
this is all edited out.
Alex, thank you
Okay,
for
wait,
that.
what's the word again?
It's
Confirm.
God,
Okay.
confirmed.
I can scold
I'm
you.
a female and I can 100% confirm that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay,
Zoom
now that whatever that was is out of the way, how is everyone today? How is everyone? Just give me a general.
Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Yeah, not
It's been,
bad.
it's been a slow past few days, in my
It
opinion.
has.
It actually, yeah, I agree with
It's been a
Alex.
long
School's
on
been
week.
that.
kind of fire, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it
Sahyen's
feels good
back at
seeing
school.
everyone.
Fire, man. Okay,
What's
Catherine,
going on
how
with
have
the
you?
rest of us?
I've been good. I can't wait to go back to school, actually. It sounds bad,
Okay.
but I've just been locked up.
I feel the exact same.
I think we all do. I miss the homies.
Yeah, that's all I miss.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can't
miss
even
school.
see
I
you
don't
guys
miss
on the
school.
drive back.
I don't really miss
Fine.
school at all. I just miss
Same. I agree with that.
Yeah,
It
they keep
hasn't
keeping
been
longer.
working whatsoever.
Yeah, I thought he said Alex can edit this podcast. Mine hasn't touched a book
Bro,
since
I'm
quarantine
not.
started.
Editing the podcast for the fourth time.
Okay. So we're just gonna jump into some topics that you viewers have recommended to us. So unfortunately we won't be able to cover them all on this podcast, but we will try to do it in the next one. Okay, so for the first topic, we are going to get to know each other better. So favorite movies. I'm not going to ask all of you because there's too many. Let's go with Kundi. What is your favorite movie, sir?
Personally, it's Karate Kid, the one with Jaden Smith and Taraji P. Henson. It was a really good movie for me because, you know, the life lessons that were taught there were really inspirational, you know, to never give up, you know, and push yourself
I
to the
bet.
best.
So, Catherine, what is yours?
I'm not crying, I'm not.
It's not a satisfying
Oh,
answer.
Kundi's right.
Okay, Catherine, what is yours?
Currently it's Call Me By Your Name. It's a good movie.
Fire. Alex?
Mine is Jurassic Park. Always has been.
Ooh, Josh?
I think Now You See Me.
Fire. And Sia?
I'd have to say The Irishman, Doug.
You're
Fire,
not.
man. Okay, okay then Neo,
Pain.
since you're speaking. What's your favorite movie?
The Lion King.
Okay. So, what are some of
Well,
your regrets,
pain,
fears, and
yo.
dreams?
Regrets.
Yeah,
Regrets.
Regrets.
My
That's
biggest
interesting.
regrets is laughing when Simba's dad died in Lion King.
Okay.
Wow. That's pretty pathetic.
Yeah, that is a pathetic.
Quite.
That is
God, nah.
very pathetic.
Wouldn't really use any other word to describe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was below par.
Very-
Try again, Sahyen.
Yes, okay, we did it with
Yeah,
Catherine.
2 out of
Your
10,
turn.
Sahyen.
Your turn, Sahyen. Another one. Take another swing at it.
Biggest regret. Fuck. Can I get a skip?
Okay.
Can I get a skip?
Hey, no swearing.
Sorry. Can I get
We
a
need
call from
ad
the
revenue,
audience?
dog.
Yeah, we need revenue, dog.
So we
How
get
else are we getting this back?
0.067, right?
Dog,
can I-
300 views. We need all the money we can get.
We need,
Exactly.
dog.
Calm. Can I have a
Yeah.
call a friend or some
Dog, a
stuff like
homeless
that?
man makes more
Help
in a
me with
day.
this.
So you're calling a friend to know your own regret, your
Yeah.
own biggest regret.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
We'll get back to you.
Okay. Who haven't I asked? I was about to say Sahyen again. Kundi.
Your pain.
Kundi, what is your biggest regret?
Ask Luke, man. I'm still thinking.
Okay, Luke.
My biggest regret will probably be selling my Xbox 360.
Oh, that is a big one.
But why? You have a
Stand
PlayStation now
up.
for like.
Yeah, of course I have the PlayStation, but then some days I just feel like, damn, I could really play some Black Ops 2 right now.
I get that.
Then I forget,
Wow.
like, oh yeah, I sold my Xbox 360. Like, there's
I
always been
feel
that
you.
nostalgia that I played on the Xbox every now and then, so I'd always have the old memories. But since I sold it, I guess it isn't there anymore. But yeah, you live and you learn.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I get that. Same thing with my PS2. Okay, so Dylan, do you have any
I
regrets?
think my biggest regret would be, it would go back to grade 4.
Mhm.
Because I would always be moving around like friend groups. I wouldn't stick to one friend group. Like I'd just be everywhere. And, like I regret just not sticking like to the main homies like you guys. Like
But I
I
feel
mean,
like
you
that's a
can.
good thing to learn, to like see where you fit in, what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Because what if
yeah.
you stuck with the wrong group?
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
A
Imagine
few
getting
people
stuck.
just like they just
Maybe
get
it was
stuck
needed.
with the wrong group. Like, I mean, there's another group out there that I'm not gonna mention.
some
That would be
gents
such an
just
L,
leave.
you know?
Mm.
And then some of them-
Owl.
Such an L. Okay, so
Yeah.
Josh, any regret?
Biggest
You-
regret. I just
Okay,
used
well-
to keep quiet.
Yo, I've got a.
I just used to not talk. Like when things would bother me, I just used to bottle that up inside. And I didn't speak up when things were genuinely wrong in my eyes.
Well,
I don't know, people would just dead ass have the wrong. Like
sounds
you're
like
just
you're
being being a bad person, and I'm not saying anything. I used to do that a lot, and I just used to keep quiet. I still do, but I suppose I try to stop.
Not really.
I feel like you've grown because of what you,
you're more
especially what
active.
you post. Then
Yeah,
I
your
wasn't
poem
gonna
was
post that.
Yeah, your
hard.
poem was very impressive, I must say.
I
Yeah,
watched
it
that.
was.
It's
and I
very
quit.
inspiring.
okay, we'll get back to the poem now. Okay, Sahyen, I thought you said you have
Yeah.
regret. Yep.
So like my biggest regret is that I'm very disconnected in a sense from my family,
Okay.
and that's
Was that in your control though?
kind of. I feel like I had a part to play in it.
Clove.
It's not your fault.
Okay. No,
Family
We
were
love you.
dysfunctional.
we love you.
Yeah, you
We're
guys are
your
my
family.
family. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
best family I could ask
I
for.
like how this part is supposed to be like the most lighthearted part of the podcast, and like,
And like,
it's
I'm already
gotten
crying.
deep.
I'm already
Yeah, it's
crying.
like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, must survive.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Probably like back in primary school. Like, I regret like sucking up so much, like to please people. Like, okay, nice, funny joke, guys.
Horny. Cautious.
Nah, I want to hear
Nah.
this. I want to hear this.
Get out
Nah.
the quad.
Just regret like not trying to be myself. Like I'll do things that I knew that I don't want to do, but like I'll do them anyway because it made people happy or whatever, or made them laugh or whatever. And I just wish I could just be like, nah, you know what? I'm okay with who I am and what I do. Like right now, I'm cool, but like grade
Actually,
6, 7, 8,
Coolest
around that
of cool
time,
kids.
I think I was really influenced by my friends, and I did things that I knew like, bro, this is not you.
I agree in a sense because like only reason I moved around friend groups is like I couldn't find anyone with the same interest as me, so I just played with some gents who played Minecraft the whole time, but I didn't necessarily enjoy it. Like I just wanted to fit in.
Yeah,
We
I
do
get
that now.
Yeah.
I get
Sia, do you have any?
I can't think of any like. No, I don't have any regrets so far in my life. Like,
Alex?
You know
Um,
that.
like I've had times, especially last year, where I've been held up. Like I spend too much time thinking about stuff. Like holding myself back. Like with negative thoughts and all that. And I still sometimes do that, but like that's probably my biggest regret going forward.
Okay, Catherine.
Okay, mine's probably, it's probably to do with the fact that I like, when you were younger, girls had like the specific thing of, you can't talk to the boys because cooties and stuff, and I was kind of chilled with that and whatever, so I tried to act like them, and then I turned into a real bad person, and I was like mean and picked on people because I just wanted to fit in, but that wasn't really me, I guess.
That's not an
Okay, I get that. I get that.
So
Who said that? Who said that?
What?
Suppose it. Someone was.
We'll find out after the podcast. Okay.
I'll find out in the edit.
Yeah. No.
Someone say the M word.
No, Dylan. Dog.
No.
Okay, now.
Dylan's an op. He wants to cancel something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, okay,
carry
we're gonna move on to the next topic of what makes a perfect girl for you boys, and for Catherine, what makes the perfect guy or girl or boy for I don't romantically.
Yeah.
This is very subjective though. So
That's the point.
I'm not gonna judge.
Just mute Catherine.
Yes, you won't be in this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's only one person, we're gonna go with Catherine.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't really care about how you look as long as you like make me laugh and we can have jokes together and you treat me like your best friend. I'll fall in love with you.
Your standards are too high. Okay, so
Dog.
what makes a perfect girl for you?
Me?
Yeah, for you.
Like I really don't care about looks, to be honest. It's not something that I look at all. It's really what, like, if you're a person that matches, the energy that I'm giving off, and you're a good person for me, then that's really it.
Okay, Mr. Josh.
Menashe.
Yes,
I like that answer.
I like. Yeah.
I'm excited to see how that line ages. I'm excited to see how that ages if we look back at that in the next few years.
Now it's gonna age very well.
Age like fine wine, like fine wine.
Like fine wine.
Mr. Dylan.
To an extent, I think looks matter because I don't necessarily. I appreciate personality, but obviously I'm not gonna approach.
Please be smart about what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, like looks matter to an extent, like.
I can agree with that.
We get that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like the best looking person. Like your personality can make up for that. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, you're ugly. So what?
Dog, what does this man say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just lost it.
Okay.
Next person, please.
Okay, Luke.
I think I'm kind of with Dylan where it looks matter to an extent. But not gonna lie, personality is a major role in what female I choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you guys are saying is like appearance attracts you, but personality makes you stay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah,
That's
you-
exactly.
Worded that perfectly.
Appearance is like the building blocks.
Because
and then-
that's exactly how I feel.
I can
too.
back
And
that
then
100%.
personality is the icing on the cake,
Yeah. That.
I don't think it's the icing.
I think I'd swap that.
Okay, it's the flower.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
personality
Nah,
is like the
it's-
whole cake, and then they
Yeah,
have
and then
appearance
appearance
as the icing.
attracts you to
Yeah, precisely.
the cake.
Precise.
Quality.
Okay. Get it loaded this time.
You can cut that out.
Okay. We're gonna Mr. Sia.
She listens to Ricks. She wears beanies. She wears a Nirvana shirt, and she has wristbands. Yeah, that's true.
You're describing a lesbian, right?
Yeah.
That's
No.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
That's tough.
Just
That's tough.
I'm good, bro. I'm hype. I'm good, bro.
I'm good, bro. Easy.
You quiet, bro? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna move
Yo,
on to
Alex's
Kundi.
mic got
Dog.
cum-cums in it.
I don't know. Nah, to be honest, I'm
What?
joking. I'm joking. That was a joke. I don't know,
Okay.
man.
You
The perfect, dog, like, I don't
A
know.
thick Asian woman.
Let him
yeah,
finish.
am I right?
Come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan. Okay, let's see you finish.
Okay, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know, like the perfect. I don't really think there is like my perfect girl. Like is a perfect girl.
My perfect wedding.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
I don't believe that, bro. Like, if you
Okay.
get like a perfect person, then like I don't. You wouldn't really like want like I don't know, bro. You wouldn't like grow together. I believe.
Yeah,
because to
I
you,
back
like,
C on
they're,
that.
like,
I back
perfect.
C on that. Yeah.
And you probably like it'll probably be like more of a one-sided relationship because you're gonna be like, oh, this person's
the
so
first time.
beautiful. She's like, oh, like she's my queen, you know. Like you just
Yeah.
gonna treat us to like special.
My
Yeah,
slime.
It's the first time CS on a pose does.
Yeah, I back C. Yeah.
Okay, Kundi.
My
So I
slime.
assume you like Sia.
Yeah, basically, like
yes.
physically, I don't have any like standards or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
important though
Nah,
for me,
no,
like
nah,
if
no.
you look healthy, like you can't be like mad,
Obese.
like I mean, no, I'm
Just-
just saying like it's important.
You said
for you to, like,
healthy.
take care of yourself. Like taking care of yourself is something that I find very attractive.
Yeah, like Kundi could mean hygiene, not just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I get
weight.
Yeah, so like if you smell good and stuff like that, self-care, it's something that shows that you're responsible enough to take care of yourself. And like mentally, I don't really know, like I don't really know what a perfect girl for me is, but like if a girl can like challenge me intellectually, I find that really attractive. Like
Yeah, I agree.
if we can debate on stuff and like she can like, because
And
so
not
many
turn
girls
to an argument.
Change
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
perspective.
yeah, exactly, like she can really like
Opens
change
up
the way I
her
view life.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because so many girls are so like such a yes man. Like, oh yeah, I support that. Like, they don't really like help me
It's
grow
like-
mentally. They just like say yes to whatever I want them to say yes to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
yeah.
Kundi do be
Sneakers.
spitting
Okay.
facts.
Facts.
My
Well, Mr.
turn.
Nail. Yes. Sir.
Okay, so one thing I find very important in a woman is taste in music.
Yes, Neil.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel
That's
like
new.
that's a bit.
I forgot
feel
to
like that's a
add
bit
that.
vague.
Okay.
Like, why
so,
would you base like your
Shut
whole
up.
attraction
A
to
whole
someone?
I think
profile.
Okay.
Shut up. You're an op.
Okay,
It's his
okay,
opinion.
okay.
It's his.
Let Neo
voice-
speak. Let Neo
voice.
speak.
You're an op. Okay, cool. So taste in music, right? You don't really have to be that pretty, man. I'm not a pretty boy myself, so I don't know.
Didn't you?
You're
Never
lying.
mind. Carry on.
it's lying.
You don't have to be that moist. Just be attractive. You gotta smell good. You gotta look good. Even if your face don't look good, have drip at least.
Yeah, gotta keep
Reminds
the
me of
drip.
that TikTok. You gotta have the funny.
exactly. Be funny. And one thing that I find really important is I love my mom. So if I can't introduce you to my mom, then what are we doing?
Please don't let this be going where I think it's going.
Okay. Nope. Mr. Sahyen.
Don't be weird.
Yo,
Don't be weird.
okay,
Please
I
don't be
agree.
weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with Neo on that part. If she has a good taste in music, that's an instant turn on. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for me. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
to have something to relate with a girl is just a like major plus, and for
It
it
is
to be
plus. If you're
Yeah,
buying
and
on
for-
those
and-
long car rides, and
Yeah,
and I give her the aux cord and she starts playing some shit like that I listen to. Nah, dog.
language.
Yeah.
Language, my booty.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, just to have a mutual understanding of music is also just such a big up.
Yeah.
Personally,
And so that's not it, right? If she has a good personality, that's a W in my opinion. And if she reciprocates the energy that I give off.
yeah. Like if I can be like goofy and you can be goofy too.
Yeah,
Or if I'm
like,
Oh,
if
that's
I'm
such
not
a
in a
turn
good
on.
mood, if I'm
Yeah,
not in a good mood, you know how to
reciprocation,
be.
Yeah,
You know how
yeah,
to lift me
yeah.
out of my bad mood. That's
Yeah.
Like if I'm messing around and you join me, nah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. That's
Okay. Well, mine is as long as she's breathing. Okay.
That's that's a very open decision, Warrick. That you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong there.
And of age.
Yeah, can
And
I
of
please
age.
say and of
Oh
age?
yeah, oh yeah. Oh.
Age
I
does
don't
not
Yo,
matter.
discriminate.
I literally catch a case. Can I
I
just
don't discriminate.
If
Of
her
course,
age is on the
please.
clock,
I don't discriminate.
Oh,
Oh no.
So this part of the podcast is supposed to be where stuff gets deep, but it already has. Okay, so this topic is gonna be homophobia. What are your opinions on that?
Sucks.
it's bad.
Yeah.
I think we all can
It's
agree on that.
pointless.
It's terrible.
It's
I
really
just want to
annoying.
I want to ask a question just to put it
Yes.
out there. Right. So let's say you're brought in to a homophobic family. What's the
Mhm.
play? What do you do in that
You
situation?
don't have to go by their decision. It's your life, your
I
decision.
think
I
I
guess.
guess.
You
one
basically just have to
compass.
you have to enjoy
Mhm.
with it for the first 18 years of your life, then you can legally do what you want
Nah,
to do.
because like you're gonna be grown up with it, so it's gonna be like it's gonna grow onto you, I guess, in a sense.
I suppose
Unless
it's
you,
also
like-
what you're exposed to outside of your house. Because
Yeah,
like,
I
if
was
you
about to
have
say.
friends who are very open to that stuff, you tend to pick up on them and then not really understand why your parents are so close-minded, if I can put
The-
it that way.
The reason that like our parents are so close-minded is because when they grew up,
Ah.
like couple years back, they weren't like that wasn't a thing for them. It's not as open as how we are in 2020.
Yeah,
true.
like it
So-
would be offensive to be called a pretty boy or whatever.
Okay.
And it shows because like some of the teachers in our school, I'm not gonna drop names, will rarely be doing the most. For example, right? I'm gonna just use this as an example because it happened in class the one day. Said teacher was like, "Yo, can I have some guys to help carry these boxes to another class?" And then one of the females in my class was like, "Ma'am, we can do it." And she's like, "Nah, you're female. I need a strong
Yeah,
man to come do." Nah,
That's
Nah.
more sexy.
Yeah, that's sexist though.
Yeah, that's not really homophobic.
They both
But it's
bad.
still close
They
minded.
Oh
both
yeah,
Yeah, they're
yo,
both
I'm
bad.
actually-
It's still
I'm
close-mindedness
brain
and
dead.
it's
Sorry,
still really
sorry.
Yeah, but like,
Can I?
It's okay.
like, hold on,
Can I just say
hold on.
something?
Like the
Okay, go
question.
ahead.
So like, do you challenge closed-minded parents, or is the
Yeah.
play just to
Yes.
ignore it?
It's a
I
hard
challenge my
topic. Like
parents.
I have grandparents who are homophobic and whatever, and
Oh, they're
there's
all
only so
fine.
much you can debate with them before they just don't
gets
give a crap
training.
anymore. Can I say crap?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
We
I
can
mean,
make
you
Can I
said
say
it twice.
something?
You might as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dylan, talk.
Like, it's not really homophobia, but some people don't understand. Like, an accent doesn't make you homosexual.
Okay, so
Okay, let's just say, like, I held Kundi's hand or something, right?
Yeah.
Something that's seen as homosexual because it's two men holding a hand, right? Holding hands. I don't think that makes you gay because it doesn't change your mindset or anything. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
change your
Yeah,
sexuality.
yeah.
That
And some
happened a
people
lot
don't
in camp
understand
as
that.
well. Like
It
you
happens.
know,
It
would
still
have those
happens.
rings.
It
Yeah,
still
still
happens with
happens.
some
Alex-
certain jet.
I want to go back to what Alex said
Okay.
when he said, "What if you're born in a homophobic household?" And like the fact that can grow on you and stuff. I think Nelson Mandela's quote perfectly encapsulates what I think about that. So he says, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." I think
Yeah.
that just perfectly encapsulates
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are incredible.
Yeah.
how I feel. I
I
agree
feel like
100% with
if
what
anything, right?
Well,
If you grow up in like a homophobic household, but you strongly believe that that's not a thing, and if you try to convince your parents, but they tell you otherwise, it's just gonna raise you to not have an open relationship with your parents about everything.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's not what we want, kids.
definitely
Not at
not.
Yes. Thank you.
I
for
think it's just so hard to change your parents' mindset.
And
I
it's
just
also like
avoid talking
yeah.
about it.
we kind of have it easy because none of us are
Oppressed.
of the LGBTQ plus community, and like some of us have homophobic parents. So if you like for those that are actually part of the LGBTQ plus community, that's really hard for them. Like trying to grow up in the closet while your parents are strongly against, that
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Let's say, what if you have a preference, like you don't
What do you mean?
like to get intimate with transgender people who's transgender? Like,
That's okay. It's
is
your
that
opinion. It's your
transphobic
choice.
or?
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
no.
If you accept them, it's like you're not homophobic if you don't want to date a guy. It's just your preference.
Yeah, I back that.
Oh
But
yeah,
then
that's
again-
perfect. That's such
I
a perfect
didn't
analogy.
see it. I didn't see it in that way, actually.
Oh, Catherine, that's
We
so
didn't say it like
perfect.
that.
Yeah, but then again, I don't like using preference. Well, actually, in a
It's
way,
your
I
sexual
do.
preference, though.
Yeah,
If they're gonna judge us for being straight, they just
but
doing
then
what people
what about
do.
race? Like, you only date white people, or you only date
Oh,
black people.
If you have a racist ideology as to why, like, no, I don't want to date said person because of the color of their skin, then that's wrong. But
Yeah.
if you generally just prefer dating people of your race because you want to, or that's just how you feel, then I suppose it's okay.
Yeah, there's a fine line between like being having a preference, because people say they have a preference and say, "Oh, I don't date black guys only because of my preference." That's not what a preference is. It just means you prefer something.
prefer,
Doesn't mean you
yeah.
wouldn't date a black guy. You
Yeah.
should, like it's something like I can prefer a black woman, but I
But when
will always
people
date a
You
white woman.
prefer
You know what I'm
to-
saying? Like
Yeah.
that's okay. Just because I
Shout
prefer
out
black
my
women,
Melon Queens.
it gets racist when you're just like, I will never date a black man just because
Yeah,
he's black.
I agree.
when people
Yeah.
use the word prefer, don't they usually mean like they only like that certain, like they only like closed off to that?
Not
most of the
really.
time.
A
No.
preference,
Not
a
exactly.
preference, yeah.
It just means
In
you
my
like it
experience,
more in a way.
Preference is like you
Let's
wouldn't be
explain.
opposed to doing the other act, but
Or
you just
maybe-
prefer doing.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
it's like being attracted to that sort of race and not attracted to another. Maybe that's also could be
Yeah,
a
this
factor.
is the official meaning: a greater liking for one alternative over another or others. Not saying you only pick one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's
you know
just
what I'm
you
It
like
doesn't mean that
one
you
more.
oppose other
Yeah.
options. It's just
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you prefer chocolate over vanilla. Like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
like it
Yeah.
more, but you still like vanilla. In a
You
way.
still eat vanilla if you had to.
Yeah.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay. That was homophobia.
Yeah, we
Nice.
kind of
Moving on.
Yeah, that was homophobia, wasn't it?
So, moving on, we are going to talk about feminism.
Mm.
Opinions.
I'm
It's-
all for feminism, but
Yeah,
Feminism is great.
Definitely.
but
I think
yeah,
there's
It's exactly what we need.
Yeah,
I think
you
there's
want-
like a
definitely people
borderline
that
between
see the meaning.
feminism and then females who feel like females
wanna
should
be-
rule the world because
Yeah.
guys suck,
females
they're
Exactly.
trash,
Yeah,
What is it?
all that
exactly.
stuff.
That's misandry. That's not feminism. Like,
Yeah, but
feminism is
that's
just
what
the
some girls
equality.
take
Like
as
you want to be
feminism.
equal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
I
this-
firmly believe in feminism.
Yeah.
Personally.
Feminism
Yeah.
as a movement is to
Well,
fight for
good.
equality as women are oppressed. But
Yeah.
there's people that say they're feminists and only just want women to be higher on the hierarchy, like above men. That's their goal.
Yeah.
not
Yeah, there are
theirs.
people that-
Like the
blur the
whole
lines.
hashtag men are trash thing. Like
Ah,
that's so
fine.
That gets
pointless.
complicated.
No, I
That gets
support that.
really
I support it. I
That's
support it.
I support it 100%. Men are trash. People really skew the meaning of it because men,
Yeah.
some men be like, oh, men are trash. Not all men. That's not the point of the movement. It's
Yeah.
addressing like the issue at hand with the way men are treating women, regardless if you did or not. They're trying to generalize everybody so each and every single man wakes up about the issue. They're
But
not
I
trying
think
to
that
attack you.
I think people interpret it as like, oh, Jared broke up with me. Hashtag men are trash. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like when,
Yeah.
when it's used for its right purpose, I like. Yeah, but when people use it to justify their actions, when they're in the wrong, that's what I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
For sure.
Before we move on, like to the men on trash, I just want to add, like with feminism, like there are quite a few people that blur the line between misandry and feminism, and that's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
What
And
about
that's why I
women
think we have a
beating?
lot of males.
What do you
Whoa.
mean?
You mean like,
Like
men beating women or women beating men?
gender-based violence?
That's
Oh,
our
Yeah,
next
Kevin,
topic. We're going
we'll
to be
get to that
moving on.
later.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
But I think that's where a lot of men will begin to be like, oh, I hate feminism. I'm not a feminist, because in their mind, all they thinking is women trying to overpower men in the hierarchy.
That's just a
what
that's
they-
not
closed off
the case.
mindset.
yeah. That's what
For
they're
Like
sure.
we're just going back in time, but reversing the roles. You know.
What?
Wait,
Shut
No,
up.
I,
Yeah,
Okay,
stop
Dylan.
right there.
stop right there. Stop.
Okay.
You have violated the law.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
we are going to move on to our next topic of gender-based violence.
Bad.
Opinions.
had to happen.
Warrick,
We have
don't
had
you
to
have
have
a
this
speech for
talk.
this?
Have
I
this talk.
do. Okay. So I did want to say something.
Okay, so as we all should know by now, gender-based violence is disgusting and horrible. I think that it is unbelievable that women, the reason we are all here today, are getting raped and even killed. Now, yes, I do know that it happens to us men as well, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But when you take a step back to look at how often it happens to women rather than men, it is crazy. I mean, a soon-to-be mother, Tseho Fatso Pule, was hung to death in a field in Durban. I think it is disturbing that someone would do that to anyone, let alone a pregnant woman. I honestly hope that the people who did this are brought to justice.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, she was
100%.
pregnant.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
It's people would
Jeez.
like really, yeah, it's just scum, honestly.
Yeah, just like no means no, and that's that.
Yeah.
I
And-
think that's
There's too many rape apologists.
yeah.
To be
You can't
honest.
apologize for something like that. I think
Mm.
like you did it, so you know.
And
Wait, that,
it's
sorry,
like
that
it's
doesn't
like
make
it's
sense.
like breaking a plate, right? If you say
Yeah, you
sorry
can't
to the
fix it.
plate, it's not gonna just magically fix.
Yeah, and
What
I think
you did
that's
is
that's where men sometimes don't understand. Like a woman getting raped, we will never understand what that's like. I mean, obviously, there's cases where some of us will, but like most of the time, we will never understand what that's like. And most of these women, that scars them for life. Like you
Yeah.
can't just say, "Oh, I raped you," but it's just sex, so you'll get over it. That's not how it works. And I think a lot of men think like that, which is really disgusting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was talking
yeah.
to some friends about it, like some female friends, and we got on the basis because we were reading The Kite Runner, which deals with the subject
Yeah.
of rape. And I was talking to some friends about it, and they were all basically just saying how their biggest fear is being raped, and it's
That's
sucks
heartbreaking.
because it's mine
Yeah,
too.
that is heartbreaking. Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
biggest fear doesn't
Definitely.
even come close to that.
Yeah, no. I as a
Imagine having
as
to
a
have a
straight,
daughter and having to-
male, like I never have that that fear. Like I'd never imagine having that fear. It's just
Yeah.
impossible to imagine, and
Yeah.
it's just so sad that is such a persistent fear.
It
Yeah.
pops up in your head though, like because of female relatives that you have. You don't want it to happen to them. Like it
Yeah.
pops up.
I'm talking I'm talking
but I
like
can't
personal.
imagine.
Yeah,
But I
like
can't
I
imagine.
can't
like,
imagine
how
what
females feel about
what
that.
they go through. Because really, the fact that it's become a normality is really, it's so sad.
That's why I
Disclaimer
feel
about
it's very important for us not to invalidate like a woman when she speaks on a like about the whole topic. Like most women will never tell you that they got raped, and if they are speaking loudly and clear about men are trash and stuff like this, it's not our job to be like, not all men are trash.
I'm not trash, you know.
Yeah, I'm not trash. I'm a good guy. You're bugging. You just had one bad experience. Who are we to assume that?
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
often it happens. Like there's a big possibility that she could have been raped, and her saying men are trash, it's okay. Like it's true. Like we need to
We
wake up.
support it.
Yeah,
Can I
we-
can I
Yeah.
say this one thing that happened to me?
Yeah.
So I've never been raped. I've never come close to it. But there was this one time I was with a friend in quotation marks, and we were like, it was before like a class, and we were messing around, right? And he had grabbed both my wrists, and I couldn't quite get out of it. And then he proceeded to make the joke, later tonight I'm gonna come and rape you. And like,
That's not.
I didn't think anything of it at the time because I was just like, oh, he's my friend. It was a joke. And I've actually never told anyone this. And I've never said anything about it. And
Has it
thought back to it, and I was like, I was so scared at the time
okay?
because I
So
knew
it's
it was
like
a joke, and I knew nothing
stuck
would
with
happen
you.
of it. But yeah,
And I also think
Oh, like I can't say I've ever gone through that. Can any of you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
We
No,
can't
we
say
haven't.
that we've
We
I
The
gone
just
fact
through
that
felt
if we could
unsafe, but
ask
not
most females
uneasy.
about it and they could tell us a story about
it. They will
something
have
that
a
has happened
story.
to them,
It's actually
it's
shocking.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
disgusting.
I remember when
Yeah.
I made that little girls group chat thing, and they were opening up about their experiences with men. So many of them were like, "I got catcalled. I got catcalled. I got catcalled." So many. And think about this. These are like our age, 15, 16. So they're being catcalled by most likely older men. Like that's
Yeah.
so weird. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
definitely.
Okay,
It's
so
just really sick.
like something I just want to say, like, it starts with like with like the men are trash movement. Like a lot of us men will be like, oh, I guess there's a few bad apples, but I'm not that.
Yeah.
I never do that, so I'm fine.
Mm.
That's not the point. Like
Yeah, exactly.
like it's not like just like not being racist is not enough. You have to be anti-racist. It's exactly
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
here. Like, and it starts with the small things. Like it can just be like catcalling, and then
Yeah,
or
exactly.
if you have a friend and they're bugging, they're doing something, they're being disrespectful to women. Like I know these people. I can name examples, but I won't. And then their friends will just be like, oh, that's just him. That's just him.
Yeah.
That's
It could be that same him that in the next few years will go and rape a woman, and then
Yeah, that's
and then
where
the
I feel
cycle just repeats.
men disappoint. Like sticking up for friends, not you can see they are blatantly being disrespectful to women, and you can see like what they're doing is not right. You are part of the problem if you're trying to make an excuse for them.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what they
Definitely.
do and so
It starts with the
Yeah.
catcalling. It starts with the minor disrespect of just slightly objectifying women, but it can grow to so much more than that. And we are and people who just sit aside and they just let it by like oh, it's just him, like that. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's where we
mean.
all have to look. That's
Definitely.
where we all
And
have to start.
Though that's
there's
like that's
too many
like
people on the perpetrator side. Like, why is that?
yeah.
that's like say said person is a bad like that person whom you're trying to protect as a seed. By you justifying his actions or being like, oh, that's just something he do, you're just growing that shit. You're just nurturing that.
Yeah.
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 And also, like, going back to the apology, like like the words don't fix the torment the woman has gone through, and
Yeah,
sometimes like
facts.
some
Yeah.
women don't even make it alive, and like
Yeah.
it just contributes to like mortality, and it's actually just sickening. And I don't understand like how an apology is gonna fix that.
Yeah. 100%.
Catherine, how do you
Yeah.
look back on the situation now? Has it affected you a lot?
I wouldn't say it affected me. I just I was talking to a friend about it because so I've told one friend about it actually. And I told her about it and she was like, dude, that wasn't okay. You should have reported it. You should have said something. And I didn't because I was like, oh, it's a joke. It doesn't matter. And then going back to it, I was like, I should have done something because that wasn't the only thing he did. He would hit your butt. He would say like sexist things. He would do all that stuff. And I just played it off as, oh, he's just doing it. He's just him. And I regret not saying anything or doing anything about it.
Yikes!
And it's so often like we don't. Most likely, a female who's watching this maybe has been raped, and we don't know that. But the statistics, boss. But what it shows, the statistics. What it shows is like it happens that often. Like they said something like 40% of women in South Africa are likely to be raped. Dog, what is that?
Yeah, and that's not just like a
Yeah.
couple hundred men. That's
a big portion of the population doing
Yeah.
that.
Yo, us men need to get our priorities straight.
Yeah,
I
facts.
think
and it's
too many people think it's not gonna happen.
yeah.
Like, it's a reality.
Yeah, it's actually sad.
Yeah.
I don't
Crazy,
know.
man.
What about like people who live in like safer, wealthier countries? Do you think they fear as well?
Yeah, I
for
don't.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Women
think.
all over the world.
Not as much, but like yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
that fear. Like a woman, I think any woman going. I can't actually speak upon women. I'm just gonna say what I don't
No,
know.
you're not wrong.
Like women just going. Like I imagine if I was a woman going to a bar alone, anywhere in the world. I think
Yeah.
We
Not
get
gonna lie.
taught that we have to watch the the bartender make the drinks so we don't get roofied.
Yeah, like as
That's
a guy,
disgusting.
What of that
honestly.
ever?
Like, I
To
can't
be
imagine walking into a place to get something to drink and fearing being spiked.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
so
not
last thing
okay.
on my mind.
It's
Yeah,
not
like,
okay.
As a
us
as a
As a
male.
gent, that's the last thing on my mind, and having
Yeah.
For sure.
like as a big brother, knowing that I'm gonna have to teach my baby sister, like, hey, this is how you conduct yourself when you're outside, okay, little homie. That hurts me. I'm terrified, genuinely. I don't know what I'm gonna tell her. I don't know how can I say as a male to my baby sister, be like, hey, dudes do the evil. They're gonna try and rape you. Here's how you stop it. Why do I have to tell her that? Why can't I just say, hey, be happy, go outside, do whatever you want. You'll come home safe. Dog,
Yeah.
like
Facts.
I'm like, I'm getting a car soon, and my mom told me about everything. She was like, yo, you're gonna be the baby chauffeur. Like, you're gonna take her to school, you're gonna bring her back. And at first I was like, cool. I was excited, cool, car. But here's the responsibility, dude. What if I have to go to crash, right? And my baby sister isn't there. I dropped her off, but she's not there. How do I even, bro? It's just stressed me out. It scared me.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely terrified. Like, the responsibility of a big brother, knowing that
Yeah.
there's people out there that act like the
I've
way
had
they
the
do.
same thought now because like my sister's like gonna be in high school
Same.
soon, and I'm gonna be able to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And that's what kills me, because all of us know what it's like to think like a man, the way our thought process. And having a little sister makes you
Yeah.
think when she gets to high school, she's gonna think there's dudes that are gonna view her the way I
the
view other
grade
women,
12s
and
when
that's
she's in grade 8.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Like, that's just sickening.
How do you stop this though? Like, I don't.
I
Like,
think
not taking enough
Education.
initiatives to, like.
Education.
The thing is,
Yeah,
right?
education.
The thing is about
Look,
education
yeah.
is that they don't listen. They don't
Yeah.
listen, dog. Like,
Exactly.
it just.
For the
Right.
ones that
And
don't
like
listen,
it's
yeah,
grown
for
on
the
to
ones
them.
that
sorry.
don't listen, it's cool. That's why we have something called castration.
And I think we don't do
yeah.
enough legally.
I feel
think
like the
The government's
Yeah.
slipping on
I think
this,
it's also
dog.
to do
Yeah.
with I think it's also to do with like when it comes to like getting arrested, all that stuff, because they don't. It's so hard
Not
to
enough
file
of
a
them get
case
raped.
on a
Yeah.
rapist. It's so hard.
Yeah, I think
So
we
I
need
think
to
that's a
Especially
promote
in, like-
speaking
too.
out, because
Yeah,
it's
the
just,
legal system needs a reform as well.
So fucking
Yeah.
South Africa, what do you
It's
expect?
against
yeah,
them
because it
as
says
well.
that 14% of perpetrators of rape are convicted in South Africa. 14%.
That's
That's horrible.
nothing. That's
Yeah.
damn.
Out of the
Literally nothing.
40-something%, dog,
That means like
failing.
86% of the rapists are out here free doing nothing.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But
You know, it's scary to think that like they're upon us. You know, like there are a lot
Like, what?
that are just free.
And it's also sad that not many of them are reported, because they say 1 in 9 rapes are reported. And it's just sad that, it's just makes me
Sia,
sad.
do you have any
Like,
opinions on how to
I'll-
change it and how to fix it?
I don't know, dog. Like, I just, like, it's not like my ideas aren't like really moral. Like, but like,
I
it
wanna
just
hear
doesn't.
it, though. We
Like,
hear
how?
everyone, so.
Dog. Like, I don't know. How do you like prevent it in the first place to people who just don't listen? I just don't
I
understand.
agree with
Can
Sia
I?
there.
So what I think one of the best ways that you can change it, because even though you get people that are ignorant, there's always at least a few people in everybody's life that they will listen to, and that's why I say like it's like the people that let it by are also in the wrong. You know, that's why it's, if you're truly a good person and you will never, do something to a woman, like, you have to be against it. You have to speak out against, like, if you see a friend like
But that's the
Katherine,
thing, Alex. Like, some people mentally, like, they just see their actions as okay. They don't even give a second thought about it. Like, they have such a distorted mindset. It's actually appalling.
Let's say we live in a in a better world where rape barely happens. It happens, but it happens barely. Though, like, there's no society that's gonna have no rapists, no murderers, no any criminal. There's always gonna be a small percentage. The problem is that that percentage now is huge. That's like
I agree
there's
like
never going to be
100%
any
with that.
society.
Yeah.
There's never going to be any
Like,
society with 0% rape
The number
rate.
one solution right now would like to be for our country, Kalabo.
Okay, yeah.
That actually was a tongue
You're about
twister.
to pull up on some grade 8
Dog.
papers. Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like our solution right now, which like I'm really down for, is like we kind of like educate our children such and such, which I
Yeah.
think will heavily like I feel like the next generation will have like significantly less like rape cases.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But they'll
Think about
they'll obviously be like those ones who
The
had a-
anomaly.
right.
Yeah.
But like,
that
how
brings
do we
me to
solve
my-
this? The like number one thing is like, how do we solve this now? Like, how do we like instead of like going for
We
like
don't
the
let
rapist, right?
presidents that
Instead
have
of,
been
like-
accused of rape rule the country.
No, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Instead of like
Sorry.
going for like the racist, right? I mean, not the rapist, right? How do we like stop it before it happens, like right now?
That's
To
a
be
good
honest,
question.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like,
Thing
how
is-
do we stop it before it happens? Like,
the
I don't
biggest
feel like
problem, right,
Maybe
is we have no way of identifying them.
Mm.
You can't. We shouldn't have to identify them. They shouldn't even be identified.
exactly. Like,
This-
this
that would be
shouldn't
a-
happen.
Exactly.
Like, it just shouldn't happen.
They shouldn't think like that. They shouldn't even want to do
Yes,
that.
like the main thing is not we have to catch this guy. It's like let's just not let it happen.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
think-
never meet this guy. Let's
Exactly.
never. Let's never.
I don't
bring
think
Let's
this guy.
make sure
it
this
is.
guy never like. How do we like before we know this guy does this? How do we stop it?
That's true. And
It's
and
all
I
about
don't think there's
education and how
anything we
you're
can do
nurtured
now.
and your environment. You're
Yeah.
a product of your
The thing
environment.
is, like
It's
these
how you
guys
grow
are, like,
up. Yeah.
These
And
guys
think
just
about
they,
it.
they dance like no nah. I'll just do this anyway.
Nah, yeah, if you grow in a household actively against rape, I doubt any child.
No, but I'm saying like
Like ours.
in this like right now, like these 30, 40, like 20, like these they live by they
Oh,
live
it's
by
also
themselves.
happening, yeah.
Like
Oh, nah, then it's jail waiting for them.
You-
It's prison.
also
But
just
I think we should promote, because why should we only be learning about like why should it be the fact that you must learn not to rape in your household? Why in school can't we be from first grade taught that
I was
raping
gonna
is
say.
bad, raping is this? Because
No means no,
they'll
bro.
teach
No
us about
means
math.
no.
They'll teach us about all these stupid subjects that we won't even remember when we graduate.
Thank you.
But when it's time to talk about rape, where are they? They're not saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Facts.
it's a bold statement, but I will never deny it. The school system is massively missing out on life orientation of what it
It
can
is.
do. We are learning the complete
Yeah.
wrong things. How I can't
how
remember
to
a
make an
time
obstacle course. Yeah.
I can't remember a time that the school has mentioned racism or gender-based violence if it wasn't a like a big
Popular
problem.
Student
thing.
pushed initiative.
Like if there
Yeah.
wasn't like something big happening in the world, like massive protest,
Yeah,
everybody at
exactly.
the school would
Yeah.
be quiet.
Like,
You're not-
dog,
yeah.
notice how everything regarding these topics have been brought up from
Has to be
students in our
ignored.
school. Everything
Yeah.
regarding our environment has all been student pushed initiatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, does
Anyway,
anyone understand like what people mean by rape is not always just showing fulfilling sexual tendencies? It's also just showing dominance. Like I don't fully understand that.
It could be also.
I don't know what that is.
So
I don't even know, to
basically
be honest.
in
Like that's just what I've been
like
told.
history, there was rape is to show, like, in some stages it's to show the fact that you're stronger and can overpower someone. So when someone does it as that, it's just to show that, like, fear me because I'm better than you and I'm stronger than you and I can take you down and I can violate you. That's what that means.
So it's just like an
It's-
ego boost in a way.
It's basically inflicting fear on someone so that they
yeah.
don't.
I feel that it
It's
could
a-
also be a sense of entitlement, because if a child grows up his whole life getting everything he wants, and then all of a sudden he doesn't get something he necessarily wants, then there could
He
be
just
a problem.
takes it. Yeah.
Yeah, then he
Yeah.
takes it.
That is very true.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, like if they brought up getting what they want and they don't
Yeah.
get something they
Yeah.
want,
That's why
Yeah,
like you gotta
definitely.
teach your kids like work for your money and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But it has to start at the education system. I'm sorry, the education
Mm.
system is
Yeah.
not
They're not
doing
teaching
nearly
us
enough as
enough.
they should.
It's only when it
Yeah.
blows up and then it's a popular thing.
Right
Really?
now,
Yeah.
listen. So right now, our two fixes towards GBV is the schooling system and government and the policing doing a better job at punishing those who have been caught. It's a sad thing that we have to catch these people and it's just not happening. But this is the fact. It's happening. These people need to be caught. We also need to, like our women.
Can
we
I
need
say
to
something?
teach her.
Yeah.
You may.
The first time I remember exactly so vividly. I remember the first time I learned what rape was, and yeah. So I was watching a show with my father, and it was a reality show. I was in grade 3 or 2, and it said that it was a reality show about prisoners, and then one prisoner was in prison for rape, and I was like, "What is rape?" In grade 3 and 2, I'm asking what rape is.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
sad.
Like,
shocking.
why do I not know what
Yeah.
it is? Why do I not know it's bad yet? Why haven't I been nurtured earlier to think that it's a crime, that it's sick?
And you know what's
Sure.
I'm
pretty
just
messed
thinking
up
about
is
that
like,
now. Like, I should have known it's wrong. I should have known what it is way earlier.
yeah, facts,
You were
facts,
a kid,
facts.
Josh. Don't blame yourself. You were a
Yeah,
kid.
but yeah, that's
No,
what I'm just
but
saying. The
yeah,
education
yeah.
system.
And it's pretty
But that's
messed
where
up.
the
We have to
education
talk about
comes
it.
in.
Like,
Mm.
these
And like
Well, why do we
yeah,
have to
Kundi.
talk about it? We're like 16. Shouldn't like our adults and people that we look up to, the officials, be having these conversations on the daily and actually putting it
Yeah.
into action?
Yeah.
All we can do is
Listen,
talk about
listen,
it, and
Kundi.
we know what's
Problem
right.
is-
What are they
We can
doing?
start
I think they're
initiatives
way
though.
too money driven. Way too money driven.
Problem,
and
yeah,
Yeah,
problem
for
getting
sure.
toxic.
Problem
Getting
isn't like
toxic.
the teachers or like the teachers in our school or anything. The problem is the system as a whole. They care more about the guap than actually educating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as
A lot
individual
of school
teachers they
brands
care,
the
like
business.
as individuals. Sorry,
Yeah,
Josh.
I don't want to blame teachers. Like teachers, I'm
Yeah,
sure they
teachers.
have good hearts, but the
But
system,
the curriculum
flawed.
as well. So like the curriculum that are set as well, like they are very overloaded. There's a lot put on teachers for what has to be done. It's like you have to do this. Like this is what the curriculum said. Like you're gonna do this. It's I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you're gonna do it, and you're gonna
Yeah.
do it in this time. And that really takes away a lot of teachers'
From
like,
the actual teaching
will,
part.
you know? Yeah,
I
like
feel
Yeah.
like we should go talk to our school about this. Like just
They're
Yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
They're
do
not gonna
anything.
do
They're not
Yeah,
anything.
The
That's
sad
what am I
thing is
saying?
that
problem.
saying that our first response is they're not gonna do anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
so
that's
And
sad.
it's gonna be
disgusting.
treated as like it's gonna be treated as, oh, it's a touchy subject, where you're like,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
crap
Yeah.
it is,
100%.
Yeah,
but you
that's
need to sort it out and you need to educate people about it.
and like the book, like we're reading books with it's involved.
Yeah, Kite Runner
what am I
was a
saying?
bit of a hectic one.
That was
yo.
a hectic book. Yo, I couldn't finish it. It was so bad.
It gets
I thought it was
worse.
Which is really good, but it is hectic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I
writing's
haven't
good, don't
started
get me
it.
wrong. It's just the topic's heavy.
Nice, yeah.
I don't even have it. Not gonna lie.
And
Discuss
I think you
it
can
after,
end
yeah.
work.
Okay,
Okay.
outro Warrick.
Can I do the outro? Can I do the outro?
Okay.
Can I do the outro?
Fine.
Let Warwick do it.
Warwick's our host. He's our valued host.
Yeah.
We get freedom to speak for an hour.
Dog my toes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share with everyone else. And yes,
Yeah.
Comment what time you hear this at, like
What?
what time you listen to this. I just want to know.
I don't think we need to know that now. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, we
Shut
don't
up.
need
I'll-
to know that.
Yeah,
I'll-
if they
Okay, so-
if they don't like, subscribe, and share, they're ops and they're racist.
yes.
Wow.
Yo, please put that in the video,
And-
Warwick. Warwick,
And
please
you are
put that in
pro
that video.
gender-based violence if you don't like,
Yeah,
subscribe.
if you don't
Yeah.
like.
So you
I
better
don't think
like.
I don't
subscribe,
think
comment.
using these topics as
No,
to get likes is the
Alex,
greatest.
allow it.
If you guys
No.
don't
Just a joke,
subscribe
it's
or
just a joke.
delete your Fortnite channel, yes, I stole that
Yeah,
from
there
Mr.
we go.
Beast.
Yes, yes.
This
That's
may-
Boring.
your ops.
Yo,
your
all my
Yeah.
ops are bleeding right
Ops.
now.
Yeah.
so
Okay,
you better
okay.
not
Where the
be one
club
of them.
at?
Come on, Dylan.
It's
Yeah.
over.
That's
That's a
alright.
wrap.
Just kick
That's a
Craig
wrap.
out of here.
All the socials
Bye.
are down
Oh.
in the description.
Thank
Make
you
sure
for
you
watching.
follow. Shut up, please.
Yeah.
Okay, edit that,
Amazing,
edit
guys.
that, cut it out.